Oh shit, my tip. Oh damn. Oh, boom! Who
Chill.
shot you? J baby. You can play crazy if you must. Sunday night. Finna head into Monday. I got my guy, Trevor Jackson, in the building. What's going on, Trev?
Oh man, it's a beautiful day, man. I'm excited to have a conversation, Doug. I see you've been putting in work lately, man, conversing about the trending topics, the Diddy trial. The trial actually crazy too, man. We might have to touch a little bit of that too, pause. But we might have to converse a little
Down
bit
to talk
about.
about we all.
Talk to me.
Oh, hold on, my bad. You good? You good? You good? Hold on one second. Okay. You good? We good? We good? Yeah, we good. We could talk about Diddy anytime. You know that.
Yeah.
What do you predict is going to happen this week? Closing arguments happened last week.
hmm
That's over. What is your prediction? What do you think going on next week?
I think
I mean,
about
this week.
I think it's gonna be a lot of stuff going on in the media. They're gonna be talking about the predictions. Um, I feel as if he's gonna do no more than a decade. I think he'll win if he do a decade and under. If he take a decade and plus, I think he's taking that's a L because how old is he? 52, 53?
I think Puff is like 54, bro. Puff is older than my
Yeah,
mom.
yeah,
Puff is old.
he can't do more than a decade. If he do more than a decade, then he up out of here though. But I feel as if they really don't have no evidence to convict them of the things. They dropped a few of the charges. When charges start being dropped, I feel like that the case ain't as strong as they projected it to be. All of the things that we was expecting to happen during the trial never came about. I thought we was going to be hearing about little boys, Justin Bieber. I thought celebrities, Oprah videos was coming out, Barack Obama videos. You remember how they was making it sound when the trial first started, when they busted in this house with the Homeland Security and all of that, fam? They made it sound like it was going to be something so serious. It was going to be a serious trial. And they really ain't did nothing or had nothing but domestic violence or whatever. And possession. I say domestic violence and possession is his charges, but from what has transpired through the case, man, all of the stuff that we was expecting, people was talking about where Keefe D at, fam.
Keefe D is on a whole nother case. That ain't got nothing to do with Puff. That ain't got nothing to do with Puff at this point. You know, Keefe D is on Tupac murder.
Mm.
So this is just the RICO charge for Puff Daddy. This is what I'm thinking when it comes to Puff. I'm thinking Puff may come home, bro. I'm gonna be real. I think Puff on his way home. They don't got nothing, bro. But it depends on the jury. I always say, and depends on the judge. So I'm just like I'm sitting tight in my chair because I just don't know what going to happen this week. But I'm thinking, if YS, I was surprised Young Thug came home, bro.
Oh man. Because it was things in that case and in that trial that was evident that you could connect Young Thug to. And he
Mm-hmm.
still came home. And what I think about this trial with Diddy too is that uh if it if the verdict happens faster, he's coming home. If they gotta
Mm-hmm.
wait till Thursday or Friday, some shit in the game. That's what I'm saying, fam. That's what I'm assuming anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that YSL trial, I felt like they had them to the right. I just knew Thug was gone.
That's why I'm willing to be surprised about this Diddy thing. I'm willing to be surprised.
hmm
Um, what is the most standout part to you in the case? Because I haven't heard you talk much about the Diddy case.
You know, the things that I thought was gonna come to light didn't come to light. So it really ain't nothing that stood out to me that could be convicted of that that is concrete. It's nothing really concrete but the Cassie video. Even when Kid Cudi came into court, they can't actually prove that something happened to his car by the hands of Diddy. Um, I really ain't been too deep into the trial though, but that girl who is 50 Cent baby mama also stop. Stop. Just stop. You
She had to she had to get her rent paid, bro.
yeah, like I feel as if Americans judicial system also is trying to monetize sex in some sort of way. It's like you know how they made weed illegal. I mean, made weed legal. They made alcohol legal at one point in time. They see things that is very profitable and they try to make it monetized to where they can get a percentage of it. And I think sex is gonna be like that here soon, fam. Or is it already on the way to being a monetized asset for the federal government?
Already is. It already is. America monetized sex so much. Like I've been saying all week, America been pushing this sex thing so much to the point where I don't even see why this case is a big deal. To be totally honest with you, bro.
Now, the violence.
Like you said, mhm.
Go ahead and cook. Go ahead
I
and
say,
cook.
like you said, when they went into the house, I'm thinking it was going to be political people coming out. He was going to be pushing out celebrities. I was thinking that it was going to be like drugs and the baby oil and different stuff like that. None of this stuff came out. I thought Diddy was going to actually they were going to have proof of Diddy spiking people drinks at the party
Yeah,
and keeping them over. That's what they were making it sound like.
facts. That's what I thought too, though, fam. Because they was trying to say they hiding the tapes. They gotta hide the tapes and get them away because it might be important people on the tapes. None of this
Mhm.
stuff came to light. Is this just a? This could be just a slap on the wrist, fam, by the elites, or it could be that he just got in trouble with some girls that was just some tricks. Some I don't even want. It's certain words that I don't be wanting to use, but it's necessary. It's
I
necessary to use them on face. I mean, on stream or whatever though.
got involved with these hoes, man.
Yeah, he got involved with them whores, man. He got
Mm-hmm.
involved with them whores, and he was on that booger sugar out there sneaking.
Mm.
He was out there sneaking and geeking, and they caught him slipping, got him into a
Mm-hmm.
contractual agreement, and now he about to take a L. And Tyler Perry is in the same situation almost, fam.
Well, Tyler Perry is in a I think Tyler Perry is in a better situation because nobody don't care about no men victims. You know what I mean? They're gonna act like they care about men victims, but nobody don't really care about no men victims. People care about women victims.
That is true
So
because uh, people sympathize with women more than they do men, though. But it's people that sympathize with people that identify as LGBTQ members, though. Fam, they sympathize with them now. I think the LGBTQ men get more sympathy than the black woman.
mm, I don't think for SA though. I don't think for SA. I
Yeah,
don't
because
think for SA. You know, when it comes to men, they look at it as like, yo, you possibly could have defended yourself in some capacity. You know what I mean? Sometimes, they look at women as like, yo, this man was 6'8", he was way bigger than you, that you was in fear for your life. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So I think it's different when it comes to women.
Yeah. And now we seeing men trying to use the same thing that women are using to get money. Now we got this Derrick guy that came out on Tyler Perry. We got the guy that came out snitching on Fat Joe, TA, whatever his name is, something TA. But he came
Mm-hmm.
out talking about Fat Joe telling things that happened in his time when he was with Terror Squad. But what's interesting when I think about all of these civil lawsuits that has been coming to light, including the Smokey Robinson lawsuit also. These people had been around for so long. Like, does the time frame don't matter when you're dealing with this stuff? It's like it goes on forever and ever. What is it called, Doug? I'm at a loss for words. It's a
There's no statute of limitation.
yes, sir. Thank you for that, fam. It's no statute of limitation, but you have these people that want sympathy for something that happened 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and all of these cases that has been brought to the light. And to me, I really think that that's crazy, fam.
Yeah, I think Fat Joe good unless a young lady actually comes out and say Fat Joe did something to me.
Yeah,
I think Fat Joe good at this point. He just got this dude saying he was messing around with a minor, but like I said, we don't have any proof at this point, so that's to be seen.
yeah.
But it's interesting. Do you want to start looking at what Dr. Umar was saying about the Tyler Perry thing, and we could just go from there and build on top of that as we go?
Yeah, I would like to start with that though, but let's talk about Dr. Umar first, though, fam.
Okay, okay, go ahead, go ahead.
Salute the Bullets Gotti Show 2.0. What's popping with you, fam? Straight up. Thank you for tapping into the show, man. Subscribe to my dog channel, J Doug TV. Also, he got some great content, man.
Okay, Bullets Gotti. I think I heard of somebody named Bullets Gotti before.
Yeah, that's one of my. Hey, that's a
Mhm.
great content creator. I think he's from Brooklyn or the Bronx or whatever. He be having some hell of a dope content though, fam. To be honest with you, but let's get into the conversation about you know what do you think about like Dr. Umar Johnson before we let him speak and before we play the clip and converse about the clip of his perspective on Tyler Perry and this situation that Tyler Perry got going on? What is your thoughts about Dr. Umar Johnson, family? Just initially, and then I'll give you mine.
I like a lot of stuff that Umar says. I don't agree with what happened with the school money, but that's neither here or there. He have good talking points to me, so I appreciate what Dr. Umar says for the most part. Other than that, I really don't have too much. He pretty much been a straight up dude, far as what I see.
Hmm.
You know,
I agree with you about the school aspect because that school, I think it's in Delaware or somewhere, has
yeah.
been in process for almost a decade now, or it might be longer than a decade. And then
Mm-hmm.
you go on these platforms and speak, and you ain't doing what you need to get completed is kind of crazy though. Even though if I don't know like what he's getting paid to be interviewed or whatever though, but he done did a
Mm-hmm.
lot of interviews, done been on a lot of platforms. To me, the school, I don't know. I don't know the laws and the rules and the regulations up there in Delaware. It could be strenuous, and that could be the reason why the school ain't started though. But it's crazy though, man. And him talking about the snow bunnies and stuff all the time, the snow bunny, snow bunny epidemic. It's hilarious though, but I like that aspect though because I value the black woman, and I think he got a point because when I see people in more, when I see black men in relationships with different race women, the ending of it always be like something crazy have to happen for it to, you know what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
separate. And I just value the black woman. I like Dr. Umar, fam. He be standing on business.
Yeah. Get that off the screen. Yeah, that blocked me out. I got never mind. Yeah, Umar. I think with the school, Umar don't have a track record of doing no type of business.
Mm,
So we don't have a track record of doing no business. You don't have a track record of building nothing. It's
hmm.
hard for you um to get to complete a project like that.
Yeah, that is.
Especially he don't got no team. He don't really got no organization skills. I feel like Umar should be a millionaire, a millionaire just based off his algorithm in YouTube. But he don't got no channel. He don't have a platform. He just like a nomad that just floats around, do this, do that, speeches. And like you say, he should be working on that school tirelessly.
Yeah,
But
because if you really want to help the children, his name is in the algorithm so much he could be filming him educating kids and doing all type of content based around the school while the school evolve because his name is floating in the algorithm where he should be or have some sort of camera team with him at all times recording him 20. He should down there be like a streamer being recorded 24 hours a day, fam. like Kai Cenat and them boys. And I
I,
guarantee he could open up the school with the finances just from that.
easy money. But I don't think he wanted school. You know what I mean? I think that was probably an idea that he wanted to do at the time. I
Mm,
think Umar should come out and say, but people be like, yo, what the money? What the money then if you don't want to open up the school? I think he should just open up the school and let people know, hey, I couldn't get it done. It was something that I wanted to do at the time, but I don't think right now in my older age I'll be able to take on a project like that. And I keep it that simple and keep it moving.
yeah. You know, how difficult you think it is to be the owner of an independent school?
It's millions of dollars in overhead, bro. Now he should have been trying to open up some type of virtual school, some type of little tutoring center, something like that. That's different.
Yeah,
Know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
you trying to open up a school where you finna, know what I'm saying, nah. That's a lot. That
yeah,
takes a lot, bro. That takes a lot of organization. And
yeah,
Umar just haven't shown that. All he's shown was he was able to galvanize people online. That's all Umar have shown us up to this point.
yeah. That's true. I agree with that. Let's get on into the video though, Doug, man. Let's
Yeah.
get into it, fam.
Here we go.
Tyler Perry, how you feel about the allegations he being accused of?
We got to deal with Tyler. We got to deal with Tyler. When you talk about the jealousy that the music industry has for black men, it's insane, bro. It's insane. Tyler Perry goes to the BET Awards. He gives a speech, and he's an excellent orator, by the way. I'm an orator. I study oratory. Tyler Perry could have been a pastor or community activist. He's a very good speaker, very good public speaker. He says that I've made more millionaires than every other studio in this city combined. That's what he said. And don't you know, I don't know if it was the next day, but it was definitely the same week. All of a sudden, he gets hit with a $260 million lawsuit from Derrick Dixon, who met Tyler Perry in 2019 as an employee of an event company. So he was working at one of the events that Tyler Perry contracted this event company to come to and host. He met Tyler Perry there. Tyler Perry invited him to audition for an upcoming show called Ruthless. Later on, Tyler Perry tells him, allegedly, according to Derrick Dixon's attorney, Tyler Perry told him, I can change your life. Stick with me, I could change your whole life. He then invites him to audition for a role on The Oval, Tyler Perry series The Oval. Derrick Dixon stars in 85 episodes of The Oval between 2020 or 2021 until 2024, 2025. In January of 2020, Art, right before COVID, Tyler Perry allegedly texts Derrick Dixon and says, among other things, I can't remember the last time I had really good sex. Now, as a heterosexual male, if another man sends me a text telling me he can't remember the last time he had good sex, I already know that ain't somebody I need to be around alone, because he clearly got the wrong idea about me. In fact, I'm going to have to let him know. In the future, fam, I don't need to know about your sex life.
You muted, Doug. You muted.
I say Umar wild, man. Why Umar crazy?
He is.
Um,
What
that's
did,
funny, bro.
what did you hear so far that caught your attention, fam? And I got a couple of notes. I took a few notes of the two things that I heard that really caught my attention.
I didn't know he was sending him text messages like that.
I read them out on when it initially happened on my channel in a podcast episode. I read the whole paperwork, the text.
Hmm.
You want me to get the text thread? Tyler.
Yeah, let me hear it out. Yeah, I didn't hear this.
Okay, we get ready to do it. Derrick Dixon text messages. Hold up. I ain't get ready to be, you know what I'm saying, graphic with it or nothing though, but I'm gonna read the text messages for everybody though. But what else caught your attention though while I find the text messages though, Doug?
That Derrick Dixon approached him.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
What caught my attention, fam, is that Tyler Perry also said he made more millionaires than anybody in that industry. Does that sound feasible? Does that sound realistic? Who in the movie industry is making more millionaires and multimillionaires than Tyler Perry right now, you think? And who is he making a millionaire though? Because I don't know nobody specifically who he made a millionaire, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I believe that they're gonna say Taraji P. Henson is the only person I know. A lot of people say they get paid good, but I don't know about millionaires.
Mm,
Maybe the guy who played Mr. Brown, I'm pretty sure he probably made a meal.
yeah,
Tamla Man probably done made a meal. He don't work them like some horses, but they probably done made a meal.
over time.
Um, yeah.
Yeah.
The sitcom people probably made a meal.
Mm-hmm. He don't work them 100 episodes to make a million though, but they made it eventually though. But heard a text message. So Tyler Perry text buddy Derrick Dixon a picture of him in the water on a jet ski. And Derrick Dixon responds, he says, "Nice picture. Yeah, the water does look calm." Then Tyler responds, said, "Nice picture, question mark. Great, amazing, awesome picture. You don't see," and then Tyler Perry said, "You don't see that stud in that nice picture?" So Tyler responds also, "I can call you later or tomorrow sometime. You have a really fresh voice and take on things." This is Derrick Dixon. "I don't know where this is going, but I laughed the entire time. I could see the world and the characters. My exclusivity ends in 30 days. I want to take losing it out to Amazon or Netflix. After that, engage their interest. But I also want to try and get you with the right people, help you make these shows work. They are not for my audience, but we need to find a home for this stuff. I don't want to miss another something creek." They got it blacked out. Then they put the word creek. You know that Eugene bought that to me first, but I didn't get it. A-Man gets here tomorrow, so he got my full attention. That's what Tyler Perry was saying. So I want to get into the where is the nasty text though, because it's a long text thread, fam, and I don't know if we got the time to read all of it though, but I can read. Let me go to the end and see what I can read. Uh, okay, here it go. So Tyler Perry responds and said, "I haven't been touched in months." He said, "Oh, you mean touching? I thought you meant being around people." Then Tyler Perry says, "Jacob, I love that you only say that when I'm being stupid. I guess Jacob's dumbass is the dumbass version of me. I know what I cook, Derrick." And then Derrick responds, "Spaghetti and cake." I don't know. This is getting weird, fam. It ain't saying nothing specifically. So Tyler responds, he said, "What is going to take for you to have guiltless sex? Have y'all found that in therapy yet?" "Yes, it's the exact same kind of car, Geo Metro." And then Dirk responds saying, "Giving up my religious guilt, becoming a Buddhist, that's so cool. Where you come from?" Tyler responds, "Unfortunately, Dirk, I have friends who are in their 50s and 60s who are still dealing with that, and that's sad." Uh, They ain't talking about nothing nasty on her, fam. I think they must have done deleted some texts or something, though. To be honest
Tyler
with
Perry just need to come out and say he gay.
you. Yeah, that's all. You know, if Diddy would have, well, it's still no proof in the court of law that Diddy is a homosexualism.
Mm-mm. None.
What if he ain't though?
Who?
Tyler Perry.
I'll be hella surprised. I ain't never seen Tyler Perry with no woman. Never.
Me neither. Me neither. But in some of this paperwork, they said he had a girlfriend previously, though.
Who?
Oh, I don't know who. It must have been some woman that
Don't
worked.
Tyler Perry got kids?
By who though?
I believe he have a child. Let me look that up.
I don't know. You know, people get their money. They get the women. They get these folks. They be tapping out on their sexual fantasies because they done experienced it all once they got the money. Then they be wanting to experience something strange. I ain't into that or whatever though. But at the end of the day, these boys be on some crazy type shit, fam. Just for a feeling.
He says Tyler Perry has a son. Amen Perry. I didn't know he had a son.
Me neither. This is news.
That's crazy. I don't know
But
what Tyler got wrong.
you know, people be skeptical and thinking that they know individuals because they be seeing these lawsuits and been watching their shows and stuff. You know, people be disliking celebrities and liking celebrities when you really don't know who these people are at the end of the day or what they really into or what their interests are. He could just be a ladies' man, fam.
Nah.
By his actions, that's unbelievable though, ain't it?
Yeah, he played Medea too good. You play Medea, he's too comfortable as a woman.
Yeah. So
to me.
we can make the assumption that he's a drag queen.
I heard that he used to like to do that back in the day. Tyler Perry got a long gay history in Atlanta. You remember the buff guy? I forgot his name. He was coming out exposing Tyler Perry back then. Saying Tyler Perry would get down. I forgot his name.
Why didn't nobody believe the black people though? When the black folk come out, now that the white boy want to come out and say he pulled my underoos to my kneecaps. Everybody. oh shit. He said, why when you pull my underoos to my kneecaps, you know what I'm saying? Now everybody want to believe him, fam. Oh shit. Hell nah, dog. You got me cracking up, fam. Boy, the chat.
Yo, I just remember when they was on there and he talking about I spent the night over his house. I'm like, what the hell you doing spending the night over somebody's house?
Yeah, that was spooky, fam. Like spending the night over another man's house for a certain amount of time.
And then talking about, did he say he was like sleeping naked or something in the man's house and he came in there? I'm like, bro, you don't supposed to be sleeping naked in no man's house. Now you done got too damn comfortable.
I could never. And can't no man spend the night at my house and be naked in there. You know what I'm saying? That shit crazy though. What type of activities them boys got going on down there in Atlanta and what Tyler Perry got going on. Let's get back to the video though, fam. Let's see what he's talking about. You know, this is interesting, fam.
Yeah. Here we go.
So Tyler Perry texts him this. He can't remember the last time he had great sex. And then he invites Derrick Dixon to his house. Derrick Dixon goes to Tyler Perry's house in Georgia. He says, allegedly, according to the criminal complaint or the civil suit, he says Tyler Perry gave him some drinks. They were talking. He started to feel a little tipsy. It got late. Tyler Perry tells Derrick, it's a little too late for you to drive home tonight. You've been drinking. I have a guest bedroom. Come and stay in my guest bedroom. Derrick Dixon goes to the guest bedroom. He's tired. He's been drinking. He's ready to get some sleep. He says he lays down. And at some point, Tyler Perry comes into his room, slips into the bed behind him, and start rubbing the inside of his thigh. Now, Art, he don't leave. He don't punch him. He don't get dressed and call a Uber or get in his car and get up out of there. In fact, he goes back to work like nothing happened. You could have sued him right there. But he says, and this is where I think Tyler Perry has some room to stand and defend himself. Derrick repeatedly alleges that he was concerned about his job and his career. Well, if you're concerned about your job and your career, and this black man is sexually harassing you, why not turn him in? Why isn't your manhood or your self-respect, even if you're homosexual, if this man is sexually assaulting you, because you can be sexually assaulted as a homosexual as well, why not turn him in? Why are you saying I put up with it for the sake of the job? To me, you are collaborating and voluntarily participating in this because you could have ended this a long time ago. So anyway, Art, he says that Tyler Perry, throughout this whole relationship of 2020 to 2024, is grabbing his butt cheeks. He says one day Tyler Perry comes into his trailer, grabs him violently by the neck, grabs his butt. Then he says a couple months later, there was another incident. Then the following year, in June of 2021, he says Tyler Perry pulled his underwear down, Art. Help me out. Help me out. If this man allegedly pulled your underwear down and grabbed your ass cheeks, why are you not going to a lawyer or going to the police? This man is a billionaire. He's a billionaire. Why are you hanging around? He says Tyler Perry coerced him, Art. Coerced him into accepting the sexual exploitation because Tyler Perry promised him his own show. Tyler Perry promised him career advancement. He allegedly, Tyler Perry was going to provide him with career advancement opportunities. So he says he felt like he had to endure this sexual harassment so it wouldn't mess up his options. As far as I'm concerned, that means you volunteered for it. You volunteered for it. You were willing to accept it because you thought you would get something out of it. Then he says, Art, around June of 2024, Derrick Dixon comes to his senses and he decides.
Holler at us in the chat. Let us know where you're from in the chat. Check in. Here we go.
Yes, sir.
That Tyler Perry has been lying to me this entire 4.5-year relationship.
And that's another thing I'm tired of, man. All this, oh, I was doing it because I wanted some career opportunity. Oh, I was doing it because somebody say that room smell like bunkie. Shit, worse than that, bro.
I don't know what bunkie is, fam.
A bussy. You know what that is.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know what that is, but I haven't experienced that, but I know the terminology of that though. That's concerned about my job and career, fam. My cheeks is more important than any job on this planet. Yeah.
Bro, you know what I'm realizing? You got some men out there that, hey, they'll do some things to get some places. That's crazy. I ain't doing all that to try to get no job, bro. If I ain't talented enough, nah, I ain't finna be putting myself in a position where my cheeks finna be getting clapped. Nah.
Yeah.
That's why I always say, people used to always ask me, like, yo, you ain't trying to go get on, you need to go out to LA. I'm not trying to be in Hollywood, bro. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be up in Hollywood and be acting all surprised when they trying to come from my booty. That's what they do in Hollywood, bro.
You know
what I'm saying?
When YouTube first came out, I remember looking up Illuminati videos.
I used to love that shit. That's the old YouTube. They used to bring that YouTube back. I can't find no Illuminati videos to save my life now. Sometimes I need to want to sit back, smoke a J, and hear some conspiracy theory videos, and you can't even find them no more.
Yeah, what happened?
I'm like, bro, I used to have all the Illuminati channels. I was subscribed to them. They disappeared, bro. They don't even pop up on the time. I used to Awaken Call. It would just be a lot of these guys. That's all they used to do every day. Conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
And I used to watch these dudes every day. Black Child, all these dudes.
I used to watch that stuff too when YouTube first came out. You know, I used to see about they used to. This is all allegedly. I have no, you know what I'm saying, no proof of none of this. What I'm about to say though, but I remember they used to say Serena Williams was a boy, Michelle
Oh
Obama
yeah.
was a boy, Barack a fruit, Jay-Z sacrificing such Aaliyah and these people and those people. Those used to have me so captivated and interested. The
But
Baffa.
this what I'm saying, bro. Who got to sit? Who got time to just sit up and make up some shit like that though? See, the shit did not sound unbelievable.
It
This
didn't.
is what I'm saying. Who got time to sit around and make up some shit? But you know who they say was behind a lot of that stuff that was coming out at that time?
I don't know who talked to me.
Dame Dash. Dame Dash helped Superhead write her book.
I heard that. But he
And
didn't. I don't think
but
he.
Dame Dash was the only one on the outs back then, bro. He was the only one on the outs. And for I think of his track record, and who had information like that, who was on the outs like that? Dame Dash.
I don't know. That is a good conspiracy theory.
And then you got a track record of exposing niggas' secret. If you helping Korean Steffens write a book, what else you doing?
Yeah, real talk.
And somebody said something about my AirPods. These are Apple AirPods right there. I don't know if you can see that. This is official. You see that writing on the back with that writing? You see that writing? You gotta prove stuff. You gotta prove stuff to niggas, man. Cause niggas he said here, like, I got the Dollar Tree joints. No. Now these is the first generation AirPods, but these the ones I like.
Yeah.
I can get whatever ones I want, but I'm going to get the ones I like, and these like my third pair of these.
The motherfucker's crispy too, though. Is the microphone coming out of them, or you using the mic?
No, just for you, just so I can hear you in the video.
Okay.
So it won't feed back into the mic.
You know, niggas be coming into the comment section and in the stream and everything, hating and talking a little
Trolling.
We got something for y'all too, though. Y'all
make sure you get a like into the stream, and check into the stream. Let us know where you're from.
Most definitely. Where y'all tapping in from on the show, man? And if you on my channel, Trevor Jackson TV, go to J Doug channel and subscribe to his channel. He has some dope content over there, certified. I should put the link into the chat so y'all can go check him out if y'all on my platform. But in the description, I'm gonna put a link in the description when the show is over to go check out J Doug channel, cause man, he on fire with the content right now.
We on fire up in here.
Man, Dr. Umar, this was all in the paperwork too. He got a hell of a memory. You know, that's something that I need to work on, like my memory skills, because he read that paperwork and he just freestyling during this interview, talking about the talking points of the headline in the paperwork. Because he was talking about in the paperwork where dude said that Tyler Perry rubbed it on his thighs, what I had to endure, my job and career. When the last time you had really good sex, that was in the text messages and all of that. He has a good memory, so I commend Dr. Umar for his knowledge and the way he's presenting this conversation.
He's a PhD, bro. All them niggas do is sit up in school all day and remember shit. That's all they do. And he's a career student. He haven't accomplished anything far as like in any type of private sector, business sector. Like I say, only thing Umar really did was, galvanize people on social media. That's it. He struck at the right time in the house of consciousness, and he got on Hidden Colors. I feel like if it wasn't for that, Umar would be in bad shape right now.
When did Umar pop off on social media? Was it COVID?
No, 2000, about 2009.
Okay.
Umar been around a while, bro. Umar was in the first Hidden Colors.
Damn.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Umar was in the first Hidden Colors. Umar been around for a minute. And he used to be on Sonetta in them channel.
I heard about Sonetta and what's the light skinned girl that she got her own channel now too that used to be on there with Umar.
Zaza Ali.
Nah, it's another female. I be looking at her channel sometimes too though, but if I don't know her name, let's keep moving forward though. It's just yeah, he been in the game for a while. I just really became aware of him and started listening to him around the COVID time because to me that's when I started really dealing in and dealing with independent content. Let's read that comment, fam. He said Diddy was a setup. Setup is what people want to believe because the opposite is too much to digest. It's not just black celebrities, it's white ones too. It all going to come to a head.
Listen, bro. The opposite, what's the opposite that we need to believe? That we don't want to believe? That Diddy's a freak, we believe that.
Yeah.
That Diddy was on some freaky time, we believe that. That Diddy wasn't a nice boss, we believe that. Do we believe he was forcing people to get his draws and work for him? No. You ain't gotta force nobody. That only job he gotta do is to pick up your draws, and you gonna pay him 6 figures to do that. You ain't gotta force nobody to do that, bro. Trust me. I'll be picking up draws all day.
And what's crazy is people willing to do. They was willing. They just seen another bag, and now they, complaining about that also. My fault, Doug, for cutting you off, fam.
Yeah, so it's nothing that opposite of what we already got that we gonna know. Like, oh, well, Diddy did it, bro. Did it just like America? What we promoted, freaky culture. No big deal.
And another thing that said it's 7-Eleven though, dog. I understand where you coming from about the white ones also, because I've seen some things with the white celebrities also, but that ain't of my concern to be talking about. I really don't care what they got going on because they are going to get a different type of treatment. The reason I be concerned with the Diddy's, the Fat Joes, and all of this is because it's setting precedent for the less fortunate people that look like me. I don't want them to be able to set precedent to make things and laws and legalities even more strenuous on people that look like me that can't afford to defend themselves like how Diddy defend himself. You know what I'm saying, fam?
Exactly. And then you got people that can come back years later and just lie on you. People that done smoke crack and memory all messed up. Come on, bro. Crackheads showing up to court. It's crazy out here.
That's true. Yeah. Let's get back to the video, fam. See what Umar cooking up because I think he's setting a point, setting himself up for a point.
Here we go.
Let's get it.
I got to get used to moving back and forth.
He's been lying from 2020 to June of 2021. That's 4.5. He's been lying. So he says once he came to his realization that he'd been lying, he decided to stop showing up for work. He said Tyler Perry told him he had to take an unpaid medical leave. That's when he got with his lawyer, and that's when he decided to sue. Here's where I'm at. Same mistake as Smokey, same mistake as Shannon. Tyler Perry wasn't taking care of him. Allegedly, Art, because Tyler Perry has not admitted to being bisexual. He has not admitted to any of these crimes. So I'm saying allegedly. If what this man is saying is true, Tyler Perry made the same mistake as Smokey Robinson, Shannon Sharpe, and so many other black men dating non-black people. You didn't take care of him. From what I read, Art, he was being paid $10,000 an episode. And then when he got upset with Tyler Perry, allegedly, he went up to $15,000 an episode or maybe $25,000 an episode. However that go, don't quote me. But initially, he was only getting about 10 grand. Here we go again, Art. Smokey Robinson. If you want these women to be your girl toys, Tyler Perry, allegedly, if you want Derrick Dixon to be your boy toy, $10,000 an episode for a billionaire is not going to cut it. I believe, Art, that Derrick Dixon, who claims he never had intercourse with Tyler, that's going to be a big thing, Art, because when I was reading the civil complaint, it doesn't appear that Derrick Dixon ever admitted to having any type of relation with Tyler Perry. 4.5 years, no real. I wonder if that's true. Because if Tyler Perry can prove, allegedly, that him and Derrick Dixon engaged in any type of consensual sexual exchange, I think this case can be thrown out. I think the argument can be made that you was engaged in consensual relations with Mr. Perry. And because you didn't get what you wanted to out of this Gabrielle Zuniga and Jane Doe 1, Jane Doe 2, Jane Doe 3, and Jane Doe 4 for Smokey Robinson, you decided to try to exploit him in the courts for money because you know he's wealthy. So if Tyler can prove that any of this was consensual, I think this case can get thrown out. Why? Because you was around this man for 4.5 years, Art, almost 5 years, and you never did anything about his sexual advancements. Pulling your pants down, grabbing your booty, asking you if you like to be a top or a bottom, asking you about your relations with other men, saying he jealous seeing you around other men. There was too much harassment, allegedly, for you to have not done nothing in nearly 5 years. So if Tyler Perry can prove that they had relations, Art, I think this gets thrown out. Now, if Tyler Perry can't prove that, here's where I stand on this suit. First of all, $260 million is ridiculous. That's number one. But number two, Art, I believe that Derrick Dixon would have become Tyler Perry's lover if Tyler Perry gave him what he wanted. If Tyler Perry would have gave him his own show, I think he becomes his lover. Because according to Derrick Dixon, Tyler Perry allegedly told him that he wants a male lover who will keep quiet and not become emotionally attached. He claims Tyler Perry told him, I don't have enough time to get emotionally involved in a relationship. So I'm looking for somebody I can smash and dash who keep their mouth shut and don't get all emotional with me because I ain't got time for that. So basically, he kind of wanted a boy toy. Derrick Dixon doesn't seem like he really made it clear to him that he was not going to be that. Here's where I think Tyler Perry messed up. Like I said, he didn't take care of him, Art, but in addition to that, Derrick Dixon was not going to be no cheap hoe. He was not going to be no cheap hoe. That's like, Art, you dating a woman and a woman says, you ain't getting these panties until you buy me a car. And you keep trying to get the panties. She said, I'm not giving you no panties until you buy me a car. You buy her the car, you get the panties. If you don't buy the car, you don't get the panties. I simply think Derrick Dixon was not a cheap hoe, Art. Tyler Perry didn't keep his end of the bargain, so he never let him smash. Period. Tyler Perry thought he was going to get him before he fulfilled his part of the bargain.
Umar might have been too deep up in this thing.
Because how he
Umar got all the details of the Bussy Chronicles. He wasn't prepared to pay for the Bussy like he said he would. Now, Mr. Derrick said he was rubbing up against his thighs.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, you read this like this is a lecture. Like, Umar, how many times did you read this?
10K a episode wasn't enough for $1 billion.
Damn, Umar.
Why does the price range got something to do with it, fam? Like
Umar say that Bussy worth more than 10K.
You know what you think about the analogy of if Tyler Perry can prove that he clapped his cheeks, then all of this will go away. You know, because dude's saying he never gave him none. Pause, and I don't even know why. I don't even like speaking like this. This shit outrageous.
Yeah, this is a crazy topic.
Yeah, this is an outrageous topic.
It's worse than Diddy. That's why I said Tyler Perry worse than Diddy, bro.
That's what
at least Diddy ain't walking around here acting like he a man of God laying hands on TDJ, doing all this, going to different church, speaking in tongues. Diddy was, for the most part, letting you know how he give it up. Diddy party, it's gonna be a wild night. I like Young Miami, so you know what she was on. You know what I mean? Diddy was pretty much out there with his.
We're gonna get
You
on
know,
the pink juicy juice and we're gonna go crazy and have the baby all and all of that. He portraying to be a religious individual out here clapping. I don't even want to say it.
cheats. And at least Diddy had a woman in between him and the man. This nigga Tyler just going man on man. Nut the butt.
Pull it down
Well,
under roofs.
His nigga got niggas sleeping in the house butt naked.
You know, we don't have to continue this conversation too much longer because this is nasty business. I just wanted to get your perspective on this, Doug. And let's read a few of the comments of the people that's in the chat, and then I got a question to pose to you, and we can, we can slide out this thing if you want to, fam. So said, Diddy guilty, and not because he's black, but because he's guilty. And what he's really guilty of isn't solely or restricted to consensual sex, but
Who
they
the,
are, because there were
who,
specific drugs in the baby oil.
who the hell talking about Diddy?
We ain't even mentioned Diddy. He out the topic. Let's read his next comment because he's focused on Diddy too much. Fed only collected 1,000 bottles because drugs were in them. Otherwise, they just collected a few, take pictures of the rest, and throw them away. The court date won't be the end of the Diddy saga. We ain't even talking about Diddy though, but it ain't no proof that like that haven't even been mentioned. We can't just get on platforms and start talking about stuff that hasn't even been mentioned in the case. What was in the bottles, fam? Baby.
Baby oil.
Yeah, because he was
And
nasty.
what? And know he liked the shiny stuff. And we know Diddy like shiny stuff. See, I talk everything that coming out in court, we already knew about Diddy. Now we get to quote. He like shiny, yes, nigga. He had shiny shoes. Him and Mace with shiny shoes. He couldn't get on the camera. Him and Mace butt naked in some baby oil. So he did the censored version of that, which is a shiny shoe.
Yeah,
We shiny.
yeah. I'll get your shine
And,
on.
and Puff always was like oiled up. Even from back in my day, he used to have that little S curl in his head.
Mm-hmm.
We used to always see Puff oiled up until recently. He would start looking a little dusty, but as you get older, you start looking dusty and shit. I don't know why that is.
And when they showed the pictures and stuff with the baby oil, they had the hot dang on. I don't even, man. This is
That bitch in a humidor. He took the cigars out and put the baby oil in there. He got that bitch. He want that bitch to stay temp.
And they had the toys and all the weaponry and
But
all.
that makes sense though, because if you bring the baby oil out, you don't want it cold when it hits your body. You want it at a good temperature. When you hit it, it's like, okay, you know what I mean? You don't want nobody sitting up here, because you roll some cold baby oil.
They got a
I
warm
imagine on the man, he might shrink up. I imagine, I have no knowledge. I know it's personal experience with no baby oil, but I imagine that what happens.
Yeah. And let's do you want to continue on with this freaky conversation, fam? Because
I don't want to hear Umar talk about no man. I don't.
This is different, fam. When we talk about the Diddy trial, are we interested in the Diddy trial? And I'll read these two comments from Believe It's Butter. And that's crazy. Your name is Believe It's Butter. We talking about baby oil. But it's different from the Diddy trial because it's
Derrick Dixon.
man on man situation.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, certain stuff you just don't be wanting to hear all day. Like I said, the Diddy trial wasn't even that bad to what people trying to make it seem like, bro.
Nah.
The Diddy trial wasn't that bad. Now, me sitting up here hearing about all this what Tyler Perry got going on. No. I don't like that. I don't certain stuff I just don't be wanting to hear.
So in closing of this
Mhm.
whole show and everything.
Yeah, I didn't know it was gonna get this vulgar.
Me
Under
neither.
roofs. They talk about 10,000 ain't enough for no pussy. I'm like, what? Nah, bro. I'm not gonna be putting no value on nothing like that, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, it should be. Now let me stop. But what is the worst that you think can happen with this case and this trial?
I don't think it's going nowhere, bro. I don't see no crime. I
260 million
mean,
happening, is it?
260 million.
That's what Buddy asking for. Buddy want 260 from Tyler Perry.
Boy, y'all women should feel bad. These gay men done got out of control. They like, what Cassie get? 60 million for a rotten cooch? This pussy is fresh. 230 million. This is the new fly shit.
Nah, yeah, that is outrageous, fam. Pull up.
I'm like, women should be like, yo, these gay men is like, yo, they taking the joke too far.
But he
And if
white.
Tyler Perry give him a dime,
It's over.
we done. We done as a black community. We don't have no institutions.
But he white.
We would have an institution, Tyler Perry Studio, but Tyler Perry up there chasing white men. We would have Revolt TV, but Diddy out here freaking off with these racially ambiguous women. See, I don't want to hear about black people talk about why we ain't got no institutions. We got some institutions, but we got some, for lack of better terms, coons running the show.
They build the platforms, build the infrastructure and the finances, and then lose it all.
And you know what need to start happening is all the real niggas that be online. I'm real. Y'all need to start building shit and see how real you keep it in the business.
Yeah. Once you start getting that paper. Let's read a couple of comments and roll out, man, and show love to the people who supported the show so far, fam. So Believe It's Butter said, I knew Puff was getting bold when he started calling dudes daddy and Puff.
Oh no, Puff.
Yeah, when he called Meek Mill daddy. I'm proud of you, daddy. Meek was in the pool swimming, looking all flirtatious like he just got his back broken.
That nigga was letting that butt so. And he said, "You all right? You all right, nigga? The pool heated. Go sit. I'm proud of you, daddy. You took it, inches on inches. Oh no, honey, nah.
Somebody making us aware of Donnie Mack is making us aware of a situation that's going down in Idaho, and that ain't of our concern on this show though. But we'll tap in with that. Thank you for that information, Danny Mack. He said it's an active shooter in Idaho right now. 3 firefighters down so far. Interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of things happen in America right now. The country is in a weird place, fam.
Man, it's wild work, boy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but you know, we spent our time, checked it out, this conversation, man, see what Umar had to say, man. What you got to say in closing, though, Dub, before we tap out and get off of this thing, man?
Like I'm gonna say, and it's the last time I'm gonna go say it. After 2025, it's the last year I want to hear about any SA. If you don't got SA, you got 5 months to come out and let us know. Because in 2026, we ain't dealing with this mess no more.
That's a fact. I shortened.
All the victims. We need to know who you is.
Now.
And after 2025, the first time, I'm going back to that sermon. The first time you get SA, you report it to the police. The first time. We don't wait 10 years. We don't wait when we no longer can leverage our sexuality. We don't wait until we can no longer leverage our sexuality. The first time. So when somebody come up to you and they pull your underoos down, the first time, you go to the police.
Facts.
When you go to a puff party and you go to the hotel and it's him and a nigga in a mask and his baby oil, the first time, you report it to the police and we handle it the first time.
Yeah.
We don't let Puff go 30 years and then we don't talk about, we need to lock him up for everything he done did for the last. Nah. Because if we would have had somebody that would have reported him the first time, we would have got some services. It wouldn't have been no victims up to this point, and we would have nipped this stuff in the bud. So if it's truly about getting people safe in America, the first time We need you to report when it's a crime. Don't wait until you think, oh, he did something. I'm gonna say that for later leverage. No,
Mhm.
no, 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 no. The first time.
Hey,
And I'm pushing that.
I agree with what you're saying. I want to short the time though, and from 5 to 6 months to 90 days. All you got is 90 days, man.
You
And
don't got the first time. You got 90 minutes. 3 hours, you with 90 minutes. You got an hour and a half to get your ass to the police station and
yeah,
make a report.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
Have some
I
account
call now. I call 911
the first time initially,
the
but see,
first time.
the first
I
time,
don't even care if you call 911 and say, hey, my name is Cassie Ventura. I'm sitting up here with P. Diddy right now. I came in the hotel. He was drugs and a guy here, and he trying to get me to freak off. I'm not down with no freak off. I just wanted to be on record. Hang up. That's it.
salute. But
You ain't got to go into nothing further. If you really feel your life, get it on record in some way. Because all 911 calls are recorded.
facts.
No, even this. Send a text to 911.
They
You
accept.
can text now. You can text your local police department if you're in an emergency. Because a lot of people can't get on the phone if they being assaulted and being SA. You don't want to sit here and call 911. You
Mhm.
text 911. Yo, Diddy's here right now. Baby oil. Random dude. Get here fast as possible.
Yeah,
I'm at the Trump Hotel.
you
I
know,
don't want to freak off.
if I was a judge, I would hear the
Mhm.
trial out and everything, fam.
Man,
But
you shouldn't even hit a trial out, bro. It's a waste of time. We don't got no victims.
yeah, to be
But go
honest,
ahead, say what you were finna say.
I agree with you though, because think about this though, like with this Cassie stuff, you keep coming back. The Derrick Dixon guy with this Tyler Perry conversation, keep going back. The Smokey Robinson people, the people that was in his house cleaning up and doing whatever they was doing, the migrants. He got migrant illegals coming at Smokey Robinson. How can you try to sue somebody and you ain't even a legal citizen?
Hey, you know what my nigga Dave Blunt said?
Talk to me, fam.
I got an illegal immigrant cleaning my house. And when the job done, I'ma call ICE. I'ma slime them out. That's how you gotta do it.
Yeah, that's facts, man. Another good show, Doug. Let's get in the background and keep creating and figure out how we're going to evolve this thing. Thank y'all for tuning into the show. If you're on my channel, make sure you go subscribe to J Doug channel. If you're on J Doug channel, make sure you subscribe to Trevor Jackson TV. We get it popping every Sunday. We got some good things in the work to evolve the creativity. Hit the like button to make sure that we trigger this algorithm so we can get the message across to the people who think like us, who support our channel and support our ideology. I appreciate your time, Doug, man. Let's make it happen, fam.
I'm out. J Baby, play crazy if you must.
Chill.
Yo.